It's the Playhouse Podcast with Kat and JJ.
Believe it. I missed everything.
Missed the show?
What am I going to do?
Check out the Daily Podcast.
Old school chat room success stories. You met someone in an actual like AOL chat room and you married him and you're living happily forever after. Those stories coming up a little bit later on in the podcast. Let's go. We've had a small discussion with our friend Michael over here on line 3, and we're going to use our church language now. So let's reset this. You go into a bar, you're hanging out, you're having a drink, you meet a guy, and he's ready to offer you a job. So let's start from there. Okay, what else is going on with this?
Sounds like he's got a really good thing going on. Anyways, the point is, he offered me a job.
Okay.
And, I mean, it's crazy, but I kind of want to take it. He offered me double what I'm making right now. This could change my life. I got a wife. I got 2 kids at home. I'm struggling to pay bills right now. I still got debt. This dude could change my world. But, what if he's wrong?
Sometimes you do have to take risks with things. This is a conversation for you and your wife to have. For sure.
So if I understand this right, you met a guy at the bar and he offered you a job and you're thinking about leaving your current situation for what this guy says is double the money, even though you got bills galore.
Some great tales could start like this. Like, what if that's how Apple started? What if both of those brainiacs met at a bar in Silicon Valley? And the rest is history.
See, I can tell what's going through your head right now. You're like, I'm going to take this job. And everyone's going to think I'm so stupid for it. And in a year, I'm going to be living better than everybody else. And they're all going to be like, you're the smartest guy in the world.
That's what I'm saying. And, it sounds crazy, but it sounds like it could be a great opportunity.
So let me do this. I'm going to put you on hold for a second. I want to get people's thoughts on this, Kat. If Derek came to you today and said, hey, I was DJing this wedding this weekend. This guy offered me this job. I'd never have to leave the house. It's going to pay me $250,000 a year. I really don't know much about it, but he needs an answer today. What do you say to him?
I would say nobody needs an answer today. A good businessman will allow you to sleep on it because that still will keep you thinking about the job, but also knowing that they care about your well-being. If someone says you need to give me an answer in the next 10 minutes, they don't care about how it's going to affect you. They're only thinking of how it will positively affect them.
They could be on a timeline.
A 24-hour timeline?
Yeah, they might have to fill the
mafia?
job. What if there's somebody else that wants that job?
Then it wasn't meant to be. I don't want to work for someone that puts that pressure on me, that doesn't allow me to think through something that will affect my life in a big way. So that says a lot about this person, too.
I want to get your thoughts on this real quick. Will you call us? I'm a little surprised at how many people are saying this sounds like a scam. Michael was talking to us about basically went to a bar, started talking to a guy. The guy's got a startup business. He's willing to offer him a job. The job pays over double of what he was making right now. He's got kids and bills and everything like that. And most people are saying scam.
Mm-hmm.
Did that sound like a scam to you? Because it sounded like an opportunity to me.
I think there are a lot of opportunities that turn into a scam situation. I think he needs to mull it over. I think a conversation with his wife has to happen. I think things need to be on paper.
Let's say it all sounds like the up and up. You do a little more research, sounds like the up and up. But it's a startup. It's got really no legs behind it. Do you take that kind of a chance?
No, I wouldn't. I've always been taught don't quit a job without having a job. But it doesn't quite feel like he has a grasp as to what he'll be doing. To me.
Yeah, he was
the way
a little
he talked
skittish
about
with the details.
Yeah, so if he's skittish about the details, how is he even going to convince his wife that this is a good idea? You should never quit a job until you have another job.
I'm taking this 100%. At this point in my life, I'm taking it. I'm taking it and I'm going.
This point in your life, you don't need money or anything. What if it goes under?
At least you took a chance. Listen, I'm about to turn the corner here. And when I turn 50, all of those little sayings that you see all over the place are the sayings that your grandparents had on their deathbed when they go, the only regrets you'll have are the chances you never took.
Well, that's skydiving. Okay.
No.
So this is the job. This sounds like a job that I would totally understand if it was a 24-year-old kid out of college. Like, I'm going to try this. No kids, no wife, no mortgage.
Can always move back home.
You got a lot of things that rely on you to bring in that income to stay afloat. And the holidays are coming up.
Wow, there you got that.
Don't do something that you're uncomfortable with.
Erica
So-
says, sounds too good to be true. You know what, though? Those golden opportunities are. When you hear about those, like, CEOs of those multi-billion-dollar companies, these are the stories of how they started. You know what? I was barely at the bar. I was mulling over my decisions, and the good Lord put this guy sitting next to me, and he had a job opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't go for that, huh?
No, I don't. I'm very. I don't know if you've caught this, but I'm a very skeptical person.
She goes out of her way to tell her daughter how she doesn't listen to our show, and then she texts continuously with excuses of not listening.
It's just always like
the
I have
show.
such a short commute to work. but
Jamie,
then-
what would you say to Kat's mom who doesn't listen to our show and understand what she's missing?
like, let's say you worked at Hardee's and then your mom, you talk to her like, hey, you want to come by Hardee's? She's like, no, And then you find out that she eats only McDonald's, you know? I know she's listening to other radio stations. So,
Go to Cheater.
You know what?
huh.
I think if I worked at Hardee's, I'd probably bring her one of their amazing monster burgers and change her whole mindset.
So you think I should just do a really good radio show and she might come back?
We should zip tie her and make her sit in the studio for months on end. Is that what you're saying?
She'd crack.
That would work.
Okay, great.
Or just have her listen today and have her listen to me win $3,000, and then maybe that'll change.
Maybe it
I
would.
like that
I
idea.
like that. Take the bull
All right.
by the horns, Jamie. Well, congratulations by being caller number 10. You have all of the power right now. The game is called Coulda, Shoulda, Woulda because we seem to say that every time we get a loser, which hopefully isn't you today. So I'm guessing you've heard this, right?
I have.
Okay, it's going to work like this. You pick Kat or myself to play with, and then you'll be issued 5 words. Just need the first words that pop into your mind when you hear those, and if you match up with either one of us, you got yourself $3,000 in today's jackpot. So first big decision is who do you want to play with?
You know what? I think I'm going to play with Kat today.
All right, Kat,
Okay.
out you go.
I did really well.
You've been a
Makes
very
sense.
popular choice lately, so it's simple enough, Jamie. What's going to happen is once she's safely out of the studio and can't hear our voices, I'm just going to give you 5 words. You pop off the first 5 words that come into your brain when you hear these, and if Kat has the same thoughts you do, then you find yourself $3,000 richer, and I want you to make sure and spend none of that money on Kat's mom, okay?
Okay, we got this.
Let's go, Jamie. What's the first word that pops into your brain when you hear under?
Over.
And the first word you think of when you hear twice?
Oh, gosh. Twice. I got just 2.
Two. Okay. I would have thought baked. I was thinking of the twice baked potato there. What's the first word that you think of when you hear barn?
Barn as in BARN.
Yeah, like on a farm.
Animals.
And the first word you think of when you hear whale, as in the animal.
Ocean.
And last one, Jamie. What do you think of when you hear sign?
Sign. Stop sign.
Okay, good.
Stop.
I would have said language, but stop is good for you. All right. Let's see what Kat says when she comes back in. You got to give her a second because she doesn't move very quick. And she's got to get cuddled. And then she's got to get all snuggled back up into her little corner where hopefully stuff doesn't continue to fall over. And then.
Yes.
I'm just waiting on you. All right. So for $3,000. Whoop. Wrong bet. For $3,000. Let's go with this.
Come on. Come on.
I think at least 1, maybe 2 of these are absolute slam dunks. So let's start there. Kat, I need the first word that pops into your mind. Jamie's got the nervous giggles right now. I like this. What's the first word, Kat, that pops into your head when you hear under?
Over. She knows me.
Good start.
Okay.
Good start. Kat, what is the first word that pops into your mind when you hear sign?
Language.
That's what I thought.
You thought I would say that, or you would have said that?
I would have said that as well, and I thought maybe you would go with Jamie's answer,
Which was stop?
Stop, yeah.
Damn.
This is why Kat's mom doesn't listen. What's the first word you think of?
She wrote
Kat?
me, nobody eats at Hardee's anymore.
That's what she got out of this whole thing. Kat, what's the first word you think of when you hear twice?
Twice. 2.
She said 2.
If I match 4 for 5 again, I can't do it again. My heart can't handle it.
What's the first word you think of when you hear barn?
Animal.
She said animals.
I almost said swallow. Barn swallow?
Near and dear to your heart, I suppose.
Wow.
And the last one, what would have been the first word you'd have thought of when you heard whale?
Whale. Could say mammal, could say tail, like a whale tail. Whale. Humpback. What did you say?
She said where the whale lives, in the ocean. The big buzzword you are going to hear this year is adultoween.
Adultoween. That sounds like a video I've seen.
Okay.
Is it just adult Halloween parties? Because I'm going to one of those.
It
I'm
is
very excited
strictly
about it.
for adults. All right. Now, they're going to be no kids allowed. They say kids can go trick-or-treating from 5 to 7.
And then
it's for adults. It's
Got it.
adultoween. Now, you see some sexier costumes, some more kind of racy, provocative things.
what does it fall on this year? It falls on a Thursday.
Thursday.
So the party I'm going to is on the 26th.
What they're saying is many adults. And by the way, if you're bringing your kids out trick-or-treating, you're going to notice another bigger trend this year. And I know it happened a lot during COVID, but it's back where people are just leaving bowls or boxes of candy on their front stoop.
Yeah.
Because those parents or adults that typically would be there handing it out, no. They're going to go party with their friends now. So that's what adultoweening is.
Nice.
Is you skip the interaction with the little ghosts and the little princesses that would come to your door. You just leave a bag of candy or a box of candy on your front stoop. And hopefully you don't got that jackass kid in the neighborhood who just takes it all.
Yep.
But a lot of people are going to go to parties. They're going to pull up their phone. They're going to watch their Ring doorbell. And they're going to make comments or maybe have a couple of cocktails and then start kind of being a smarty to the kids on the doorbell. That's what it is this year, adultoweening.
We have a good development for Halloween. Are you going to miss that now that you're out in the sticks? Like, you're not going to have anybody.
This will be the first time likely in the history of my life
sad.
that we don't have a single trick-or-treat. Now, there are a couple of neighborhood kids.
Yeah.
I think we'll get maybe one that comes through. But I mean, we're legitimately so far off the beaten path. I can't imagine anybody coming to our door. And my wife is going to buy $500 worth of candy. So if you're the one kid in my neighborhood, come by because you're going to get it all.
Well, I'm excited. I'm just going to sit out there. I'm going to have the bowl of candy. Liam's going to go off with his friends. I said, you're still short enough. You can get away with it. Just be polite. But my friend Melissa comes over. We drink wine. And then we light the Norwegian fire torch.
Hey.
And then down the street, every cul-de-sac in our development does like an adult station. So one has like one of those like hard, sharp apple cider shots.
I would be
stuff.
the fireball guy, man.
Yeah.
I would just have a jug of ice cold fireball. Let
got
all
a
the
good
adults
hood.
take a spot. But if you plan on adultoweening this year, you're very hip. But just as a mom or a dad, if you got the little kiddos and you're planning on bringing them around, there's going to be a lot less answering the door and handing out candy and a lot more just walking up to the door and telling your kids to grab a couple of pieces. So that's what's on the horizon. So when people find out what you do for a living, what's the first question they ask you? It's probably the same over and over and over again. For us, it's...
how early do you go to bed or like late? They're always worried about my routine, my bedtime routine.
What time do you have to get up in the morning? That's it for us. But for you, what's the first question you always get asked? We're going to dig into those at 6:30 tomorrow during the live show. Right now, let's wrap up the podcast. Now, I know you wanted to talk about this today. Do you really believe we're going to have anybody call for this?
Well, I hope we do, because back in the day, you know, we met each other out, like face to face. You know, that's what a lot of people say right now. And there's no way I could be on a dating app because I just want to meet people in person and get a feel for their vibe. But back in the day, there was also chat rooms. I remember my friend Kelly had the internet. And we'd run over to her house and load up AOL and just pray to God that Clayton Johnson was online. So all we could say was, hey, and send that message. So he knew we were thinking about it.
Now, I don't know anything about these chat rooms because I was never a part of this culture, but how would you know? Was there an actual room? So you would have a specific room like Anoka High School chat room?
Well, yeah, you could create your own. You could do like cat lover chat room, whatever. But Dr. Phil, you know, he's done. So he's been doing all of these like throwback shows, and he did one about the success of people from 25 years ago that found love in chat rooms and where they are today, and they were all together.
Is that where the ASL came from?
American Sign Language?
No. Was it age, sex? What was it? Or what would you ask? What was the question you would ask in a chat room to find out how old they were? Age, sex, location. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
So you were
do not do that.
14/F/Anoka.
Yeah.
And then they would know that okay, got it. Did you ever meet anyone there?
No.
But you went to the internet looking for one person?
Well, yeah, Clayton. Specifically.
Ridiculous.
I know, but I mean, we didn't have the knowledge of like how far the World Wide Web went. But back in the day, you found love in a chat room or know somebody that did, and maybe they're still together. I would consider that a success story. But chat rooms, I think, are just as dicey as.
Right, that's what I would think. This would be
apps.
a premier spot for a predator, right?
Yeah.
Is that why they don't exist anymore?
And with my radar, I always feel like meeting someone out and striking up a conversation is just the best route to go.
Many, many moon ago, you would find yourself sitting down in front of your computer and hit that button, and I was going to grab a soda quick, some
Do your
pretzels.
homework, take a nap.
Just going to see if anyone's online today.
This is triggering.
Go mow the lawn, come back and see
Run
if I
to
can get
Paris.
online. And then eventually, look at it's
Connected.
I'm connected. Great. So let me jump into this chat room. And you would always do the AOL chats?
Yeah, we do AOL chats with just like a certain like 3 people. You know, it wasn't.
So this has now
something
been
that-
replaced with group text.
And then Matt says, probably not suitable for air. I'm going to clean this up. But he said, when I was younger, I would go into same-sex chat rooms with a fake profile and get certain pictures of other women. Oh, my God, Matt. So it was like, hey,
He
I'm
broke
another
the matrix.
lady.
He figured out how to get them.
Send me a nude. Not advised. Do not send nudes.
I want to bring Teresa on the show because you tried meeting a guy from a chat room, right? And this didn't work out. Why?
He didn't really specify how tall he was, but like his profile pictures and stuff, he looked like he was decent, like a decent height. And I go to meet him, and he's shorter than me. And I'm like, okay, I'm 5'1". This is a problem.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be shorter than me. You can be taller or way taller, but shorter, just no. I can't look down to kiss somebody.
Well, Kat's
Yeah.
getting by on it, right? Derek's shorter than you are, isn't he?
Well, by a hair. But if I wear heels, then he feels a certain way.
Same with my wife. If she wears heels, I'm way shorter than she is.
Yeah. And I think physical appearance is not something that you want to lie about. Not only for the person that is getting ready and spending time and effort in their mind to meet you, but also for yourself. Like, can you imagine them showing up and you're like, yeah, I'm 6'2", but you're really 5'2". They're going to be like, no. And what's that going to do for your self-esteem? There's no reason to lie about it. Doesn't help anybody.
Look at you taking the moral high
Yeah, I
ground.
know.
This is weird.
Are you even intrigued at all as to who hit on me or like
Well, so
how
as
it went down
I'm
or what?
sitting in my office this morning, minding my own damn business, and all of a sudden I hear from the hallway, "Yep, somebody hit on me this morning, and he wasn't homeless." And I was like, "Wait, what? What's going on here?" So tell me the story. So you're walking into work. It's the middle of the morning. The lights are down low. There's
Yeah.
no sunshine, and somebody hit on you.
Yeah, wow, it was exhilarating. And normally I don't want to see one soul out on the streets of downtown because then I feel safer. I like to just walk in. But he was in a vehicle that pulled up right there at the crosswalk as to where I would walk from the courthouse parking lot to the alley.
To preface this, my old man always said nothing good happens after midnight.
Right.
I'm also of the impression that nothing good happens before 5 a.m. So as you see a random dude on the road at 4 a.m.
He was driving in a car, so he was sitting there at the stop sign, and I was still maybe about 20 feet from where he was. So I was doing this like, go ahead. I'm not going to even use that crosswalk. Go ahead. He rolls his window down. He says, "I'm going to let you walk in front." And I was like, he's going to run me over. And so I was like, that's all right. I go this way. And he was like, go ahead. And I was like, okay. And then I wait and I see his lights kind of follow me a little bit. And he had his window down still. He goes, where's your boyfriend at? I go, my husband's at home. He goes, sounds good. Rolled his window up and left. But the fact that he was interested in this ass made me feel a certain way. Doesn't happen often, surprisingly, but it was a nice moment.
How would this make your husband feel?
I called him and told him.
I couldn't tell enough people. I got to work, I yelled it down the hallway, and I called everyone I knew saying I got hit on this morning
That's
at 4
how
a.m.
not often it happens. I called him, didn't answer. He called me back. I said, you almost lost me this morning.
To a rando.
But, I mean, he had such confidence. Where did that go? Guys, have confidence. Shoot your shot. Who cares if she's married? He just made me feel like a queen.
I know you think I'm a giant loser, but this was my game in college. It was a strict numbers game. I had nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have any kind of self-worth at all. And it never bothered me that women would look at me and go, pfft.
But I bet they walked away thinking, wow, I got it.
So I did I did something really great for the human race.
I think you did. It doesn't matter if you are not attractive. Okay. But like the fact that he just took time out of his day to roll his window down and yell at me, I was like, okay,
now,
nice.
Again, I'm not here to crush spirits, but it's 4 a.m. and he's trolling for tail downtown.
I was standing right underneath the streetlight, so very visible. Okay. And I might have even...
And he was driving, so we know that he has vision.
And a license, maybe.
I think half of people driving don't have a license.
But I thought it was really sweet. So if that's you and you're driving around in a champagne-colored car, you made a girl's day.
When you're in the beginning of a new relationship, there's obviously so many cool things that happen. Everything's exciting. Everything's new. But let's just say for a second, Kat, that you get on an airplane. You and your new boyfriend are going to go to Vegas for the weekend.
Okay.
You get on the plane. You guys are sitting right next to each other. You're tee-heeing and, oh, hey, do you want to watch a movie together? You do all the cute things new couples do. And the flight attendant comes down the aisle and says, excuse me, we do have one opening in first class, and it's complimentary if you'd like to go up there because we appreciate how much attention you paid when we were telling you about putting your seatbelt on.
Sure.
Do you take it?
Absolutely. And it would be a chivalrous thing for my man to do, to say this is a great opportunity to relax.
Now, what if they ask him?
And then he gives it to me.
No.
He says, I'm good right now.
They just say, because you have some extra points and miles with us, we'd like to upgrade you to first class.
If he doesn't say, I'd like to give it to her, then he needs to stay put.
So you can take the upgrade to first class, but he can't. And why is that?
Because it's just the nice thing to do in the scenario.
But you wouldn't be nice, but you'd expect someone else to be nice.
Right. So I have no explanation for my thoughts. They just are. And it's because I like to be comfortable. I love first class. It's an experience that everybody should have once in life. So instead of going on 3 trips, if you can just splurge and go on one fantastical trip and be first class and treat yourself, you got to do it. That's my thought.
As you're listening to this, I would like to get your thoughts on this. So my oldest son is 22. He's got his first big boy job, and he's got a friend that this happened to. They were going to go to New York City for a long weekend, and he was offered the first class upgrade. They're sitting together, brand new relationship. They're maybe dating for 2 months, and he's got to go there for work. And he says, would you like to come with? Right? Yeah. You don't have to pay for a hotel. You just I'll even buy your airline ticket. And as he's sitting there, he had a whole bunch of miles accumulated. And they said, sir, we've got an extra seat in first class. Would you like to go? And he looked at her and she just kind of shrugged her shoulders. Mm-hmm. And he's like, okay, because he's flown first class before and he knows how amazing it is. And as soon as they hit the ground, it was over. And now they spend an awkward weekend in New York together. And
well, I would certainly not break up with somebody, but I'd have their number. I'd be like, oh, okay, this is what you're like. You want to leave me back here? So,
but again, just for clarity's sake, it's okay for you to take that.
Yes.
But it's not okay for the guy to take it.
Right. So, and I am glad that I know all men that would give it up for the female. Except for you. I feel like you would take it.
I would just deny it. I would just say, no, I'm going to sit here next to my wife.
And these points don't go anywhere. They just accumulate.
Those are all just details.
So he can use them.
I can't believe you just said that.
Yes. And Derek knows. Derek knows me. He knows the way I think. He wouldn't even have to ask any, wonder. He knows I'm already up there in my mind.
Hot towel, champagne, you're good to go.
Yeah. Troy does that with Lindsay. Troy will fly first class, and Lindsay sits in the back.
That's
girl.
a physical thing, though. This guy is a big dude. He's just way more comfortable there than being crammed with in the back with the rest of us. That's a physical thing. I can't believe you're so open about that. Then
you want me to lie?
Then again, I can. So.